Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and thanks to Alan for the invitation to be here this morning. On the export front, yes, we've had the Celtic Tiger freeze, but I think it's important to note that it was primarily the construction sector. The rest of the export sector, for instance, didn't freeze. And the big success story, which went right through the Celtic Tiger years and the freezing of the Celtic Tiger and the dying of it, was that the services side continued to grow. And Project Management Group, who did a fabulous job here in designing, and Pat Malloy, hats off to you, it looks absolutely stunning. They're big on the export sector, good members of the Irish Exporters Association. Liam Shanahan of Shanahan Engineering is our president this year. His business has been growing exponentially internationally, where he's been handing out or managing to get construction, building, engineering type contracts. ESB International, strong members of our National Council. They've been recruiting dramatically as they expanded their international construction work. Fabulous company, and there's no sign of an international let-up. So we have to try and get the sector in Spain, and their economy has gone right down. The UK obviously as well. US did collapse very significantly. They've come out very quickly after it. Huge stimulus from Obama there, 900 billion. Pumped right into it, a large part of it into the construction area. But you have to go market by market. You have to find out where's the market moving and where's there likely to be a niche. So it is a changing landscape out there. The market, the economics have changed, but also what people are looking for has changed. We've had a tremendous burst of new companies moving into this whole, and I'm sure some of them are here today, Greentech, Cleantech kind of area, with solutions for the construction sector. So Atomsoft, their data management solutions company for the utility sector. Epicensor develops sensors, routers and monitoring software for street lighting. Kedco installs, operates and maintains power generators using partners' own waste, recycling the whole waste from the canteen, from the repackaging and so on. You have repackaging requirements now very high on the agenda, legislation forcing us all to recycle. And Resourcecraft provides automation monitoring for electricity, oil and gas switches. These are small companies have set up in the last few years and are travelling well. Just a small sample. In the whole clean tech sector, in the SME sector, we've had 200% growth in exports from them. It is a burgeoning sector. It's starting from a low base, but there's about 3,400 people employed in it, and it's set to take off in a really big way. Just to kind of get a feel for what's happening, Silicon Valley, I think we're all familiar with what it did. It's now, in fact, the main centre for clean tech developments. So the CITA grouping that you've got going, that can act as kind of a Silicon Valley, because it's cross-fertilization of ideas that's essential. But also when you're going into export markets, we've seen it time and time again, the most successful ones are the ones who go in on what we call a strategic joint venture arrangement. They're working their product and their service with somebody else's, so that the end product to the consumer, and the consumer, you have to work out who is the consumer, but the end product to the consumer then is the complete package. And that's what they want to see in overseas markets. And often it's only by this strategic partnership, and whether it's with somebody sitting beside you today or whether it's an overseas partner. In some instances, the technology partner may be here, but the marketing partner may be overseas. So the strategic partnership route for SMEs is a key way of getting into markets. Things have slowed up internationally, probably in many quarters in the first part of 2010. But not in China. 9.6% GDP growth just recorded by China in the first 3 months of this year. Or is your target market, is your channel to market the design firms? So are you going to work with the PM groups and the other groups that PM orchestrate? And here are the top design companies internationally. And again, you can see a big mix. Interesting, there's a big US dominance there. So targeting the US and getting on trade missions to the US and finding a strategic partner in the US could be a critical way for you to get the necessary volume and we've heard that mentioned earlier. You've got to get a critical mass, and again, identifying your route to market and how you'll get in there and who you'll joint venture with. The emerging markets have been the fastest growing. Many of them didn't go into recession and have continued growth. So again, it's a question of, you've probably heard of the BRIC countries there, Brazil, China, India and Russia. They've been now, assuming you are out there and you're at it, the survival, and a lot of you probably have seen colleagues and friends and businesses fail to survive in the Irish market over the last year and a half. But surviving on the international market, there's certain similarities, but you do have to have a good underlying business model. It's no point in going out, shall we say, with a half-cocked idea of how you're going to do it. You have to build your business philosophy and work with it and stay with it. You do have to have sufficient working capital. It could be a problem getting the money from the bank, but the overseas banks, the HSBCs and what have you, they are not suffering the same way as the Bank of Ireland and AIB. So there are other options. You do need to look at the other options. And of course, it's better if you can get some equity investment in. So there's seed capital and what have you, funds still quite active on the Irish market. If the idea is right, you will get it. And of course, there's the dragon's den if all else fails.